with some black kids, black car and a black crib, black owned, black ran, black woman and black man. Bet on black, bet on black, bet on black, bet on black.
Sundays, they call it the Lord's Day. I call it the day of kid gravity. This is my day of rest, but I'm working. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bet on Black. Y'all know this realm. This is where I am more positive. I try not to bring politics over here. I want to promote black people. That's right. The one that everybody wants to prop on the pedestals today because they felt bad. I don't feel bad. I've been promoting black people for years, positively and negatively. And today, it's all about the positives. Now, my guest tonight. Y'all know me. I love the military. I have family in the military, uncle in the Army. I have a cousin in the Navy. One of my deceased uncles was in the Air Force. I know a couple Marines. So I'm military. I respect what they do because I couldn't do it. And I brought her on because she transitioned and became an up-and-coming YouTuber. And she's also about defense for women, especially black women. So tonight I have on Tieesha Essex. And that is my kid in the background because every time I record, she decides to be part of the show. I don't understand this. I'm going to start doing these shows in the car. So, Ms. Tieesha Essex, welcome to Bet on Black. Introduce yourself, let the people know, and then we're going to get right into it.
Thank you so much for having me on. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tieesha Essex, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. And after about 17 years of living in Ohio, I went ahead and joined the Navy, where I served for 5 years, 2 months, 8 days. And following that, I became a police officer in a city in Virginia, where I saw the need for more Black police officers that were not enemies to our community, who did not forget where they came from. And after that, I began to really, research the history and the plight of Black people, not only here in America, but around the world. And that drove home the point and the purpose to help our people embrace their Second Amendment right. And that started from, what really shook my core was watching our brother Philando Castile lose his life, for absolutely no reason. And that really pushed me to advocate for us to take advantage of our Second Amendment right, also to stand up for ourselves and be a hard target at all times. So I just want to say thank you again to Brother Kid Gravity for having me here tonight. I'm also the owner of Timonics Defense Solutions, which I've been told is the most comfortable holster that many people have found. I'm wearing it right now. And yes, you can find that at timonics.shop.
Folk, when you hear this on the audio, the woman just showed me her gun on her waist. I'm not afraid. I've seen enough guns. I've held guns. I'm not afraid. But in this racial climate, you know how guns are. People don't like guns with cops. And the fact that she's a former cop, please don't hold that against her. Because I'm sure she went through the proper training and she had enough restraint. And, it's tough out there to be a cop right now. Because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, Ms. Tieesha Essex, how do you feel about the current situation with the police and the community right now?
I just feel so it's always been there. It's been there since the police were called the slave patrols. And that's one thing that I've been researching as well, because I've been through 2, maybe 3 police academies, or NDOCs, how you want to call it. And the indoc starts with the history of the police, starting from, England with Peel, coming over here to, and they'll quickly jump into like the 1960s or 70s, where they say, oh, police departments became integrated and you had black police officers. Yes, the black police officers couldn't carry firearms and couldn't arrest white people. So it skips over this whole section of slave patrols, and how that was used in the making of what we have in policing today. The current climate, it's always been there. It's just now you can see it in 4G, 5G, and it's on social media. You can now verify what other people have been complaining about. It was just, we were lucky enough with Rodney King, somebody had a VHS tape recording it. Now we have it streaming at all times. So it's always been there, and it's time to deal with it. That's what the Black Panther Party for self-defense and the multiple chapters around the US were trying to bring to the forefront and deal with legally.
Yeah, because I've told people this on the other show, Beyond Borders, that the police originally, when they are at the structure they're now, the structure that they're at now, they were mostly just to protect private businesses and just to uphold the public trust. They weren't really for citizens. Basically meaning they didn't care about the individual, they just cared about the collective. And I say also that if you want to change the system, then you might as well just go into it and see if you could change it through there. And you know how we don't particularly care about police, so we don't really want to engage in that. So do you think that Black people should seriously consider going into law enforcement, or do you think it's not going to make a bit of difference?
I absolutely do believe that black people should go into law enforcement. I mean, we know, just like any other system, like I said, I was in the Navy, where, you think that you're serving shoulder to shoulder with honorable people with integrity who are trustworthy and just fair across the board, which that is far from the truth at all. And when you go into the police department, I joined because, after I got out of the Navy, I was unemployed for 28 days. And that was the first place to hire me after I got out of the military. So a lot of people are like, oh, you sold out, you did this. But I'm like, well, were you hiring veterans at that time? What company did you have that I could have applied for? However, I joined because throughout my life, and still to this day, I haven't called the police in a while, but I wanted the good police officers who I encounter, such as my school resource officer or different officers, who approach me to give me, traffic tickets and stuff like that. I wanted that officer that I wanted to show up to someone else's window or show up to that person's door to help solve their problem. Someone who looked like them, who talked like them, who was empathetic. You just don't know. Like, I have a driver's license. I have a Georgia driver's license. I live in the state of Georgia. And when I dial 911 or I get pulled over, I would like for Tieesha Essex to approach my window versus, Officer Yanez or Michael Slager, or the three who kicked down the door and murdered our sister Breonna Taylor and damn near murdered her boyfriend Kenneth Walker. So that's why I say that, yes, we should join, but also be aware it's not a safe haven. It is a system that has been infiltrated by white supremacist groups, as the FBI has told us in their reports on. So it's just, we have to, know what's going on and know how to dissect and fight against these systems that are out to target us and expose it.
Knowledge, y'all. See, I bring on the best guests. I told y'all I don't bring no idiots on here. You gotta have some knowledge. All right, KKK, screw them. I know you say you down in Georgia.
Yes.
All right, my family and I are about to move down there soon.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm staying away from Clayton County though.
Oh yeah.
I heard some stories and they're a little tangible over there. I'm good on that.
It'd be great to have you.
Yes,
it'd be great to have you.
Atlanta. Ooh, Atlanta. That powder keg, boy. Rayshawn. I forget that little girl's name. The one that they killed down there the 8-year-old in the car.
I
Atlanta,
remember.
yeah, Atlanta. I also had this thing on. I'd say on the show that okay. Now you said yes, we should have more black police officers, but also understand that that might not help depending on how the situation goes. Now, I also had this other idea, and I think it should work now that Trump came out with this platinum plan, and apparently half of that money is supposed to go to federal grants. I said that you should take that money that you're going to defund the police with and create neighborhood watches. Since you guys don't want to deal with the police face to face, your neighborhood watch can be your buffer. So if you want to surrender the police, you go through the neighborhood watch, and they'll make sure that that'll be your accountability police against the police, if that makes sense. So my question to you is, especially because I know Georgia has a lot of small areas, and I'm pretty sure they probably do have these neighborhood watches. Why do you think they're not being implemented as much for someone that's been in law enforcement?
I'm really not sure how to answer that. I would say the primary resource that Black people need in our communities is resources in the form of reparations, in the form of money. We do not need any more pastors coming out telling us to pray, or we don't need any more neighborhood cookouts. We need some money. We need some money, okay? We need resources, okay?
Where Jesus at? That you know how I am, God. Hey, I code words. You know how me you feel. Like, go ahead. We're gonna bring up them past. We're gonna bring up that pastor. Don't worry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying we need resources. We do not need another tactical SWAT unit in this economically deprived area. They need resources. They need money. We do not need prayers for them. We do not need a fresh food initiative, although we do have food deserts in these areas, but these areas need resources and tangible resources.
She just went to that pastor, boy. Okay. I'm gonna let him live for one more question.
And I'm not coming down on all the pastors. I went ahead and
that's the Black people word. Not all.
I became an ordained minister, so I ain't crapping on it, but I'm just saying we need resources and tangibles.
I feel you. Okay, money. But it says in y'all book it's the root of all evil. Well, I know that's not the exact quote.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Not having any money is the root of all evil.
See?
Not having any. A lot of evil can come up out of that.
Resources. Okay, so money. How do you feel about recertifying high schools to kind of limit this I have to go to college or I'm screwed mentality? Because I think that hurts a lot of us as well, because not every Black person can go to college. They might not have the money for it, and they might not have the acumen or the grades for it. So I said recertify the high schools. You can start from the 6th grade if you want, and you give these kids some skills. So not everybody going to shoot a basketball and become LeBron James. Not everybody's going to become Odell Beckham Jr. We understand this. Their ratio is like, I think it's like 3%, even less. And I figure if you do at least 6 years of a trade, you're 18, you could go out and be middle class off top. And you're not going to be in debt. You're not going to accrue more than what you have. And you can actually start out with a healthy bank balance, which would, down the line, you can own your own business. You can have the assets that you can pass down to kids. So I'm going to try to start that. It's going to be tough because, they don't want Black people having options unless, they're driving you on the highway. So are you going to be for me or against me on recertifying the high schools?
I'm new to that term, recertifying the high schools. Well, however,
go ahead.
However, I'm really in support of what happens over at the New Black Media, the Black Channel. Shout out to Brother Jason Black, who really advocates for picking up a skill. I have a useless degree. And if I had gotten down to my last roll of toilet paper over the pandemic, I would have used my degree. I know that's kind of TMI, but I'm just saying I have a useless degree. So I totally advocate for teaching our children picking up skills such as, truck driving. I've driven across country 3 times within the past year. And one thing I saw on the roads was me and truckers. Okay. So CDL and things like that. Also cybersecurity, things of that nature. That's an actual skill that will not put you in tons of debt, and then you still have to turn around and beg for a job versus getting into something that will have you certified and making money within a couple of months to maybe even 2 years. So shout out to the New Black Media for, putting that out there, because there was some opposers to reparations for foundational Black Americans, where they wanted us to receive our reparations in the form of college education. That is useless to us.
Talk about that too.
That is useless to us. Like I said, I have a useless degree, and you absolutely. I feel as though for Black people, foundational Black Americans, also Black veterans, we need to be as far away from a supervisor, anybody who is over us, because it's another form of slavery. And there's many of us who refer to our jobs as going to the plantation every day.
Lord, she said the P word, y'all. Dude, this is gonna be, man, this might be one of my best episodes on Bet on Black yet. Go ahead. All right, thank you. See, she got a nice smile, y'all. Real talk.
Thank you.
But I know y'all audio people ain't gonna see none of this. But okay, so you mentioned ordained minister. I don't know how much of my podcast you listen to, but I ain't too crazy about that pastor, because I feel like the pastors, they just take the money. No offense, but they take money, and it's not like the pastors back in the day when they were actually in the community every day. It's like these pastors get the money and then they go home and put their gates around there, and they don't care until, well, I shouldn't say that. They don't care on Tuesday. They care Tuesdays, they care Friday, and they care on Sunday. And Tuesday, we all know, is Bible study. Friday is the youth service. Sunday is their 3 to 6 services, depending on where you go. I'm just saying. And I know they were mad when the pandemic hit, because they couldn't profit. They couldn't go get that money. Except if you want the big churches, you could just text your donation. I want to see their books. But you touched on saying that the pastors are not doing enough. Well, you alluded to it. What should be, because we all know we're living in a new age, what should be the role of the pastor now in 2020? Should he just be the religious leader, or should he be what they were back in the day when they were the pastor, the religious leader, the person who went through the neighborhood making sure there weren't as many problems as there needed to be? He had the business where he could employ the youth. What do you think the pastor should be in this new millennium?
Well, I'll say on that topic, just know that you're not hurt by feelings. You got the right one today, because I go in on the church.
Some people they're particular about their God.
I go in on the church. So shout out to who do we need to give shouts out to? Just right now, just off top, with the churches, we are the broke as Black people. We are the brokest people at the bottom of the economic ladder. However, we have the most religion out of everybody. Shout out to Brother Jeremiah Kamara. He has his channel here on YouTube where he talks about the slave sermons. He has, I believe, 3 documentaries on Amazon, which is Holy Hierarchy, Contradiction, and Holy Lockdown. So shout out to that brother. He's my brother from Cincinnati, Ohio, living here.
Slave manual.
Yes, I have his book. It's behind me, But yeah, we here in the area I live at, there's actually a strip mall where this strip mall is an absolute rundown part of the city that's about to go through gentrification once the right investors' eyes get on it. However, in this strip mall, we have three storefront churches. Three. Why is it that
Right
these
next to
three
each other?
people? These three churches storefronts are reading from the same book. However, they cannot worship together. I talk about how the churches where people who are predators after our children and all types of just evil things breed in these places, and we do not need them. I feel as though the role of the pastor should be, hey, come out to marry people, come out to wish people, a safe journey as they transition into ancestorhood, maybe do a house blessing every now and then. But we do not need churches if they're not talking about getting us reparations or giving us some sort of financial economic empowerment. Right now, the churches are being used to push political agendas, which those should be kept separate. So yeah, that's the reason why I became an ordained minister, because I do not need anyone else to chew up the words of the Bible and then spit it into my mouth as if I was a baby bird. I tell everybody, if your pastor is not preaching the way Nat Turner did, I don't want nothing to do with them.
I would say my mama church, but she get mad at me. I'll just say he wanted them big ones.
Mm-hmm.
He got three. I'll say that. He got three. And the brother living large. I give him that. Sometimes I make a joke. I say I'm in the wrong profession. I should have just did that.
Absolutely.
I could have been that pastor with the nice language.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's like down here in Georgia, I drive past churches that are on acres upon acres. There's a church. There's a church up the street that has a cotton that is surrounded by cotton fields. So it's like we don't need it. As Black people, we do not need to sit down on Sunday. That's why I advocate for Sunday Gun Day. I go to the range on Sundays. I deal with my firearms on Sundays. I do not need to sit and be a sitting duck and wait on the Lord to come and bring me anything. I can go get it myself. Like I said, shout out to Prophet Nat Turner, who was born two days ago. So if your pastor isn't preaching the way Nat Turner did, I don't want anything to do with it.
Sunday Gun Day, God, dog.
Absolutely.
You ain't got a Bible in there before you go in there. You pray. Let me guess. You pray in the car before you go in there, right?
I pray the prayer.
Don't let that hot case hit my elbow.
I pray the prayer of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. I pray to God that I shoot straight when it's time to shoot straight. When it's time to shoot straight. Hallelujah.
I feel you on that, man. I love this. What is it? Timonics.shop.
Timonics.shop. Absolutely.
Timonics. I apologize. I saw them knuckles you had. Explain those knuckles.
Oh my goodness. These are that Timonics Panther Defense Key Rings, and I named them Panther Defense Key Rings after the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. However, I will not ship to the states that are listed in the description. So please stop placing your order if you live in those states. However, these are a multi-tool, okay? Multi-tool, they open up doors for you. They also open up bottle caps. And they're also used as a self-defense tool. However, it is prescribed legally in your area. I can't tell people what to do, but they're just super cute, and I offer them on my website. And in addition to my Timonics 3-in-1 knife, this has been a very popular item. They're actually back ordered, expecting them in stock tomorrow. So yes, this is also a glass breaker, a seatbelt cutter, and as well as a knife. So for those who may not be able to carry a firearm at this time, or still wanting some form of protection, you always need a good knife. And a knife is a tool, okay? It's not a weapon. Knife is a tool. It has many uses. You can butter bread, you can cut string, you can do a lot of things with it, such as break glass. If you have someone who was trapped in a car, a child or an animal, you can also cut your seatbelt off if you happen to be in an accident. And this item is available at timonics.shop.
How many brothers you threw that knife at?
None. I am a lover.
Okay. Before we get into your Navy, your Navy career? Because I want to know about that. I like hearing the military talk about the military. I wanted to do a 3-part series on this because I think we need to be re-educated on it. Now you could tell me I'm wrong on this, or I might be misguided. This is just how I feel. I don't think the current view of white supremacy is what people think it is. I think it's just people getting mad at white people for helping white people at the expense of them. And my thing is, if black folks are really going to go down that road, we got to call everybody out. It can't just be on white people, because Asians and the Hispanics do that at worse numbers than white people do. And they'll tell you to your face, I'm not hiring you. I'm not going to work with you. I'd rather keep the money in my own community. At least white people are willing to open their doors to you. Now, if you want to go with the stuff that's going to affect you physically or emotionally, okay, we can have that conversation. But then again, you can limit your interaction with that. Now, you can tell me I'm wrong. It's just how I feel. But I don't think white supremacy is as big a problem as people are making it seem like right now.
And that's absolutely your right to say. Shout out to the elder Neely Fuller Jr. That is your VGQ, okay, your Victims Guarantee Qualification. And it is true that many other groups have a code that they abide by. And Black people, we seem to be the only ones either without a code, or when we attempt to establish a code, we get infiltrated and destroyed. So I refer everyone to pick up Neely Fuller Jr.'s books, The United Compensatory Code System Concept. And this is a compensatory counter-racist code. He has the book and he also has the word guide. So it's important for us not to get caught up in the wording or how I feel versus how you feel. If you see yourself as a victim of racism, white supremacy, then this is a code book for you. He talks about the 9 areas of people activity where racism, white supremacy is abundant, and gives you I don't know the word, but
overview.
Not an overview, the word I'm looking for, but I was on a roll. But he gives you a logical means to deal with that, and you know, it's not about those who, okay, I have the most emotions and I have the loudest cry, I'm going to counter and fight it. No, he provides very, very good oversight, resources, and logical ways to combat it in your life. If you do not see yourself as a victim, then this book is not for you. This is not the Bible where you go knock on people's doors and, hey, I want to show you the good word. We're not going to do that. Yeah, but I highly suggest that people pick up the United Independent Compensatory Code Concept System by Elder Neely Fuller Jr. And he has a lot of lectures, and he does live phone calls here on YouTube. Pick it up, listen, you know, take it if it's for you, if you identify it, but that's not up to me to argue with you as my brother on your VGQ, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, when I do this commentary, I'll of course send it over to you, and you can critique it as much as you want.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I really enjoy
your critiques. I'll be kind of scared. I don't want to get on her rate off. Because you got about 13,000 over there. They might come for my life.
Oh, not at all. This has been a great exchange. Like I said, it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. Navy. The Navy. Rich history. Explain how you got into the Navy and what the experiences was, positive, negative. You can tell as much as little as you want. I like hearing the military talk about the military, because that's like one of those few jobs that we have that people actually show pride in doing. Like, you could hear it in their voice. Like, you see pride on people's faces, but you could hear the pride in a lot of military veterans' voices, especially now when they're like, yeah, I served. I
honorably served.
Really?
I I joined, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. My mother, she always talked about how she wanted to join the Navy. She talked about that all the time. I wanted to join the Navy. I wanted to join the Navy. And because I was finishing high school early and I was working at Kroger, and I'm from Cincinnati where we call it Kroger's. I was working at Kroger's and I just got tired of being there. I was like, I'm a Sagittarius. I love to travel. At that time, but we didn't have any money to travel. The most travel I did was catching the metro to catch the tank bus into northern Kentucky. But I wanted to travel. I wanted to see different things, eat different foods. And I didn't want to stay in Cincinnati where my destiny would be, okay, I'm stuck here. I have Section 8. I got a couple of kids, and I just did not want that for myself. So the Navy provided me a means to do something different. One of the great things that I could say positive about the Navy is that I met some really great people who are still, a part of my life till today. They, have different things they bring to my life to help me achieve the next level. It made me into a different person. I don't know who I would have been had I stayed in Cincinnati. So I'm really grateful for how I was called a tough cookie, or the person who I am today. I've been through some SHIT, but I'm really happy that, a lot of my scars and stuff like that are on the inside versus the outside, where I could still be a role model or an impact to other people, where I can speak that jargon, speak that lingo. And that can also be a negative. When I go home, my family still expects the same Tieesha who left on that Sunday to get on the bus to come back home. But each time I come home, I'm a different person. I've been through different things where I can't just sit down and on a podcast, hey, I saw this, I've been through that, experience this, and this happened. You just can't open up and talk to the average person about that. So there's a lot of things that we do hold inside where we can only vent them to, another veteran who had the same plight, or maybe even the confines of therapy. So it's where I'm not the same person. However, I'm not ashamed of the person that I am today. And also too, I fell in love in the Navy. I have a beautiful, handsome son, out of it. So he would not be in my life had I stayed in Cincinnati. And my son's father, he's the one who got me started on firearms and, really showed me that there was a world outside of the 513.
Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. The ugly, dirty city of Cincinnati, as coined by Cat Williams.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you that a little later about Cincinnati. But, listen, you guys have your claim to fame. Y'all had In Too Deep.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I remember that movie. Shout out LL and Omar Epps.
Yeah. Can't mess with God.
I might watch that tonight.
Hey, I don't know if it's still on Netflix. It might still be on Netflix.
I'm gonna find it.
All right. Speaking of Netflix, I'll just ask you real quick because I don't know if you did this commentary, but Cuties.
Oh quick. Goodness.
Yeah. Now, I had another podcaster tell me that he didn't find anything wrong with it, but people blew it out of proportion before seeing it. I happened to see the French version first, and it was bad. And I saw the American version. They changed some stuff, but it was bad. I disliked it when it came on Netflix. I found it early. So as soon as it came up, I just disliked it because I was like, I don't want to see this. How did you feel about it?
I made my commentary on my channel, Tieesha Essex, here on YouTube once I saw the trailer. And I was like, whoa, this is terrible. I actually didn't hop on the bandwagon to say, hey, all of a sudden Cuties, I want to talk, against it. When the whole the dancing dolls or dancing divas, or when I would go to hood football games, the cheerleaders out there just giving all they got, and I'm like, this is not appropriate. This is not cool. And my son, he played football, and I was happy that the teams he were on, they did not have cheerleaders. So I'm like, look, just play baseball, no cheerleaders. But I have a problem with seeing our daughters, put in these predicaments where they are viewed as sexual objects. I hate seeing the pictures on Facebook where they have the little baby girls dressed up in that stupid Instagram pose where they got the chicken stallion foot in the mirror. It gets on my nerves. Children should stay innocent. We should protect them, and we should not prematurely introduce them to, any type of sexual ideologies or nothing. Children are off limits. How can you in one breath talk about what's happening over here with this person versus, and then you go over here and you're making, jail bait? That's not cool. We're going to stand against it 100%. You're all in, or you're an enemy. And the cuties, yes, I spoke out against it. I had some people on my channel who would say stupid stuff. Or maybe you should watch the movie. You should watch the movie. You should do this. Negative. I saw enough. It was inappropriate. This will not be accepted. Zero tolerance whatsoever. And me, when I was watching it, it actually tap into when I was a teenager. I'm 5'10", so I've always looked older than what I really was, and now I look younger than what I really am. So it kind of works. But I remember, not being able to wear certain things that were like a pair of jeans or a shirt because it's going to bring on the wrong attention, and so it makes it even more of a mission now to protect our young children, boys and girls. We're not going to say girls, boys and girls, because our boys are being groomed to be, targeted by pedophiles and things like that as well. So I stand to protect boys and girls, our Black children.
Eloquent. Very eloquent.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's get into it. Your wheelhouse. I'm learning right now about guns, but I'm ignorant. I don't do this. I know that for sure. I don't go to the side. I do know about proper grip, and I'm still working on the stance. I'm actually going to go to a range in a couple of weeks for the second time. I'm going to shoot off 5 different calibers of ARs. So, and I did say when I go down to Georgia, I'm going to apply for a license. And the wife says she don't want no guns in the house. We ain't going to have no say on that, but we're going to see. I'm kidding. We're going to have that talk. But it's going to be in the box. It's not going to be under the bed. I ain't going to look like Fat Joe in that movie where he push a button and the shotgun come from behind the
Oh, that's what's up.
Ain't going to do none of that. But, home protection, because these are uncertain times. But
send the missus to spend a day with me at the range, and she'll come back home with a whole different perspective.
She probably will, and I need that. She's going to go to the range with me, too, so it's going to be funny to see her little 5'1" self trying to hold up that AR. It's going to be... I might have to videotape that if they allow it. But let's get into the guns, because you're an expert compared to me. So what's the number one rule everybody got to know about the gun?
Well, there are 4. Well, it's 4 of them. Treat every weapon as if it is loaded. Treat every weapon as if it was loaded. And I'll be an example. So here is mine. This is my new baby. I name all of my guns. I treat them as babies. So this one is Love Georgia, making her YouTube debut. So like I said, treat every weapon as if it is loaded. Some things that people do, they assume that, okay, when you look at this, if you're trained, you'll see like, hey, there's a magazine. So some people think just because they take out the magazine, it can't shoot. Some firearms have that mechanism. However, treat every weapon as if it was loaded. Watch this. There's a bullet that came out. Okay, so you treat every weapon as if it is loaded until you can physically and visually verify that it is unloaded. And I hope I don't have my whole serial number on social media. So it's good. Okay, so yeah. Treat every weapon as if it was loaded until you visually and physically verify that it is not.
Okay, just making sure. I put Love Georgia away. A little nervous. I was like, okay. I bring that up because our young brothers, 2 of them, actually got caught with BB guns and got the cops called on him because the teachers are a little. They still got that scared. They still fear us. I'll just say they still fear us. Doesn't matter. They fear us coming out the womb. They fear us when we go in the grave. And these two young brothers had their BB guns. I said they shouldn't have had them during class, but everybody's saying, they're kids, their attention span. I was like, still though, doing this, how people are going to react if they see a gun. I don't know. So I feel like we should be teaching kids, even if they don't want the guns. I still think us as Black parents, we should teach our kids about guns. Like, I'm starting to get on that bandwagon. I used to be against guns, but now I'm pro-gun now. Especially because the Second Amendment, I understand how much power that has. Because not only is it your right to bear arms, but it also keeps us protected. It keeps your family protected, and you can also protect yourself against the government, however it swings. So, do you agree or disagree that us as Black parents should go and teach our kids, even if we don't use guns, but they should understand about guns?
Absolutely. I was actually at a disadvantage because I lived in the city limits of Cincinnati, where we didn't have that luxury to go out hunting or go out into the woods, or, I didn't see a shotgun or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I learned once I moved to Virginia. And now that I'm here in Georgia, it's so good to see, brothers who are like, yeah, I got my first rifle when I was like 12. I'm like, that's what's up. They're like, yeah, it was my father's, and we used to go hunting and we go fishing, and they still do it. And it's like, brothers, like, I feel like Angie Stone, my Black brother. I love the heck out of them, because that was something that we were deprived of in the city limits. You cannot hunt in the city limits. You cannot, shoot in the city limits of, and that's one handicap that our children have. They will, like our young slain brother, Tamir Rice, he's in the park playing with a toy gun. Why is it that Black children do not have the luxury to go out and play, how do you say, cops and robbers, or play with Nerf guns out in the yard, but their white counterparts can? So it's definitely a big disadvantage.
Yeah, I did commentary on that, and you're going to get mad at me, but I said if he didn't take off those indicators, he wouldn't be dead.
And that's one thing, is that it happens because we want to, see what is going on. When we watch movies, I grew up on, Clint Eastwood, Steven Seagal, Wesley Snipes. And so you want to imitate that. And actually, here's one thing that I've never talked about on social media. I was actually dispatched to a call where they said juveniles were in the woods shooting a rifle. I and a partner, we were dispatched to these woods. I responded. We talked about it. Hey, yes, we will assume it is a live firearm until proven otherwise. What did we do? We went, when they teach you, is to challenge. We proceeded, we took precaution, we assessed the situation, and we told the juveniles to put the rifle down, in which they did, and they came out with their hands up one by one, and we verified that it was a working BB gun. The father allowed the child to go out there. It happened in court. I don't know what happened, but I don't remember. But those children are alive today to call me a B word or whatever, but we did not take a child's life. They teach you to challenge, and you give commands. You take a position of cover, not just come out your car and all guns blazing. So I do not agree with that. Yes, children would do whatever. They may have been in possession of an actual, 223 rifle. However, they put that rifle down when I told them to, and they came out one by one. The threat was no longer there. You do not take the opportunity to take a child's life just to get 2 weeks off of work. And that's all I'm really going to say about that. But yes, we do need to take our children to the range, get them familiar with firearms. And that's why on my YouTube channel, I have a video of my son and I at the range. His father has videos of them at the range. I had, while the lockdown and the shutdown was happening, we were here doing, home clearing drills and all types of stuff. Yes, my son knows how to operate any gun that we have in the safe. I have no worry that if something happened to me, he can protect us. And that's what his role is as a man to, he's going to be the husband to someone's daughter, and he's the father of my future grandchildren. And we are instilling in him these life skills that he needs to ensure that our generations continue.
See how everything comes back to that S word, skills. Skills will save your life out here.
And you can also hunt, like out here, you can go hunt deer. I mean, like, I'm really enjoying being a country girl out here in Georgia. Like, I'm from the city, but I love hearing when brothers tell me like, yo, I shot a deer. We took it to get processed. We got meat all the way up until the summer. I'm like, brother, I love you. He was like, where else can you take a deer or a hog and get it processed and eat good for the rest of the season? I'm like,
you on that pork?
No pork on my fork, but the brother was just telling me, like, the brothers down here, they'll go out and get some fish. You can cook it and eat good. I'm like, I love y'all brothers.
I love fishing. I love me some fishing. I'm mad I haven't gone in like 4 years.
I'm ready to get some land and get some yard birds and farm. I'm just scared of snakes though, but the brothers down here.
So you ain't show me a snake, me and you're not friends no more.
Oh, I'm afraid. I am afraid. I had a black snake near me the other day. I jumped in the back of the pickup truck and I'm like, let's get the hell up out of here. Yeah, scared me so bad.
Like, the snake, nah. I mean, the alligator, I know what to do. You just keep zigzagging. They ain't gonna catch you. The snake, nah, sir. Something with no bones, no sir.
Ooh.
But look, when we move down to Georgia, because we're gonna go down to land, I know I got to deal with them field mice. I already know that.
Yeah. Set some traps.
And them opossums. Oh Lord.
I really don't have that issue.
Yeah, I know when you put out that garden, them opossums like the raccoons like to show up. That's why I had that bee. I had that BB cover like him.
Yeah,
I'm going to be responsible because I don't want Tieesha. I got to pay extra full price for when I need stuff. But let's talk about your store real fast. What else you got on there?
Yes, over here at Timonics.shop, I showed you what has been called the most comfortable belly band holster out there. This is my Timonics belly band holster. It's ambidextrous. And you can use this holster and, have your weapon 4 different ways. You can have it at appendix carry. You can have it at the 3 o'clock. You can have it at the small of the back. You can also do cross draw with it. And what is so important about this holster is, I'm going to stand up. I got on some old raggedy sweatpants, so y'all don't pick on me, okay? So there was recently an article that I had saw. Let me talk first. An article I saw in the LA Times where it showed a brother with his firearm clipped to his sweatpants. And I'm like, that is absolutely wrong. Like, you do not want to have this bulge, but also with sweatpants, you have like no retention. That firearm can fall off. And you recall in high school, the mean kids would come and pull your sweatpants down, but your gun is on that sweatpants or the basketball shorts. The Timonics belly band holster eliminates that. It keeps your firearm at a place where you can accurately draw from the holster without that bulge. I was in line. I want to do a video about this probably after I cut off this video. But I was standing in line at Academy Sports the other day to purchase ammo, and I was standing behind a guy who had a pancake holster on. And I just kind of stood there and I'm like, I figured out like 5 ways to take his firearm from him because he was doing the open carry. I'm an advocate of concealed carry. I want to be. I want to
ask you about that too.
Yes, I don't want you to know that I'm carrying. Looking at me right now, you would never know that I had what was it, like 9 years of law enforcement experience, 5 years of military experience, book smart, street smarts, and common sense. You may see me as a soft target and want to try me, or think, oh, she ain't carrying nothing. She's a girly girl. Man, I would light your butt up 5 ways to Sunday, and but I want to be. I want to practice concealed carry, but I also want to, be a hard target. One thing is that people will make you wear a mask in public, but they'll let me carry my gun everywhere I go. Okay, you're more upset about me not wearing a mask than not protecting myself. So everything I have everything from ankle holsters, thigh holsters, tactical knives, body alarms, flashlights that actually serve as a defense weapon. I'm out here in these streets, on these trails, walking, getting my if you want to call it the jog in, so that I can stay healthy and maintain this 5'10" frame, 155 pounds. So I got to put some work in because I'm a fat girl on the inside. I eat all the food that I have in the house. But you just I'm wired now to think 5 steps ahead. And when I was standing behind that guy in line, he wanted to show off his new firearm. And I figured out, at least at that moment, 5 ways to take his firearm from him. So you also have to be on the defensive, but also the offensive as the offense as well. So make sure you go to Timonics.shop, and I will upload some more videos. I also do one-on-one consulting. I have people who purchase, let's say, for instance, they purchase a belly band holster, and they're like, hey, how do I wear it? And I'll say, hey, pick out 5 of your most favorite outfits. Connect with me here on StreamYard. Let's figure this out. Let's get it working. And they have that confidence to, conceal carry, but also they're able to, protect themselves and their loved ones in case a situation happened. I also have a video on my YouTube channel that teaches you how to legally carry a firearm while driving. And that's over on Tieesha Essex on YouTube.
Research, folks. We tell you this every day. Research.
She said, okay.
5 minutes to save your life.
Yes.
We don't listen. But last question. Open carry versus concealed carry. Now you say you're pro concealed carry, as am I. Just really quick, just explain to everyone what open carry and concealed carry means.
Open carry means that everyone can see that you have a firearm, no matter what, that you're carrying a firearm on you. Whether you have it in a shoulder holster, but people can see that is a firearm. You have a holster on your hip. People can see that there is a firearm there. When you think of open carry, think about police officers in uniform. You can see that they have a firearm on them. When you think of concealed carry, think of the investigators who usually have a firearm and have a jacket over it. So that's the layman's terms for concealed versus open carry. Me, I'm straight concealed carry because I want to, there's certain situations where, I don't know, if I was carrying, I'm not going to openly engage in a gun battle because I don't have that tactical advantage. There's times where I have my son with me. I'm not going to go and get into something where I can take a round, a vital, a deadly round in a vital organ. I'm going to conceal carry because I have to find cover. I got to think about, ways to exit. I think about the liabilities. However, when you're doing open carry, I hope you have a vest on. Shout out to our family Thick Skin up in Atlanta, Georgia, that has the fashionable Kevlar vest. And that's one thing people don't think about. They think, okay, Second Amendment, just gun. No, you can wear Kevlar as well to protect yourself as long as you're not actively going out to commit a felony. So, that's why police officers, they have the open carry because they have that Kevlar to protect them. So there's a lot that you have to think about. And I'm fortunate enough to have been through the training, but also those life-changing situations where, I could have had my name somewhere because, things did not work out the way I wanted them to work out. So I'm definitely an advocate for concealed carry, and you can actually turn your home safely into a range. I know that ammo for 9mm is hard to find right now. I know that I refuse to wear a mask and go to the range. So shout out to all the people I know who, have their own family land out in the country that's been allow me to come out. But you can safely turn your home into a range and practice dry fire drills. You can, practice coming out of the holster, change outfits, practice coming out. Like I said, I have the belly band holster where you can carry in 3-4 different positions, as well as the ankle holster, thigh holster. You can do a lot. So, and I have that video on my YouTube channel as well.
Yes. Tieesha Essex. Y'all go check that out. There's a lot of stuff on there. Folk, this was fun. But before you go, we play this game, 10 random questions.
Okay.
Ask you 5 regular questions, get you started, and 5 questions tailored to you. But we have to ask the guests every time, do you want to play 10 random questions?
Yes.
Okay. She was nervous. She's like, what this Negro about to ask me? Don't worry. You'll find out.
10 random questions.
I try. I'm not.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 1. I asked everybody this, and the answers have not been going my way, but maybe you'll change it. Are you team Apple or team Android?
Oh, I'm team Android.
Yes. Yes. See? That's right. Because when you're team Android, you're about adaptability. If you Apple, you got to follow what everybody says.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. All right. Number 2. Who's your favorite musician?
My favorite musician, oh my goodness, David Banner. He just came to mind first, but it's like a whole bunch. David Banner, like right now.
That's wherever, any era, it doesn't matter.
But no. I take them out. Okay, David Banner and Phyllis Hyman. Those are my 2. So.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you say she's about to say David Banner. So she's about to go play like a pimp, son.
Hey,
you're arrested.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Favorite TV show.
Favorite TV show, In the Heat of the Night. Thanks to my grandmother.
See, I knew there was something I liked about you. See, I grew up on old shows. I got my grandparents and my uncle, who actually does live in Georgia as well. They got me on them old shows, old VHS tape. And when my parents, their mean asses sent me down to Delaware every summer.
And they filmed that. They filmed it right here in Covington, Georgia, and I keep trying to get up there to go and film and vlog. So I'm gonna get up there eventually, but it was filmed up here in Covington, Georgia.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, actually, I was watching it on Prime the other day.
Yep, that's where I watch it at.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it. My wife can't watch it. She's like, it's too slow. I'm like, this is the South, baby. You're gonna love it when you go out there.
Right. And shout out to what's the name? Jeffrey Thorne, the one who played Wilson Sweet. He's one of the executive producers on Power Book 2. So he's still doing great things. When I saw his name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was into comics, and now that when I saw his name on the opening credits to Power, I'm like, I know that's Wilson Sweet. So he's still doing good things in media.
Okay. All right, TV show. Oh, I like this question here. What's your go-to music genre?
Oh, I love the golden oldies. Golden oldies. Yeah, anything, let's say George Benson, The Emotions, Phyllis Hyman, Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, all the stuff that my parents brought me up on.
There it is. Yeah, I love them old school parents and grandparents. God love them. All right. You're in a room, and on the other side, one person comes out of the shadows. You can speak to him for an hour. Who is it?
One person. Are they alive or
live, dead? They could be an alien, planet. Doesn't matter. Somebody that identifies as something else, because we got that nowadays.
I would say it's on top of my head, Marshawn Lynch. Beast Mode.
I want to say that, brother, too. I want to say how you saved up all that money, bro.
Yes, that's who I want to talk to. That brother is amazing. When I lived in Washington, I bought my car. You know, like I said, I name all my guns. I name my car. So I named my car Baby Beast Mode because I'm like, he's my husband in my mind. Now that I live in Washington, when I live in Georgia, David Banner is my husband in my mind. You know, manifest that.
Well, you gotta go mix it.
Come and get me.
Hey now. Okay, here's your 5 tailored questions.
Okay.
I heard you're vegan. Is that a lie?
Yeah, I'm a fat girl. Like I got some steak in the oven right now with some salmon on top of the stove.
I just ate steak too. Me and the wife just cooked steak.
I've been craving a steak omelet. That was the one thing I ate when I was driving across country, and I'm like, I want a steak omelet right now from IHOP, but I'm like, nope, I got a whole kitchen right here, so I've been eating steak omelets for the last 2 days. So.
All right, cool. So, what's your go-to dish?
I have vegan tendencies, though. My go-to dish, what is my go-to dish? I really enjoy making this. I think they would call it like a California pasta salad, where it's pasta with zesty Caesar dressing with shrimp, grape tomatoes, some cucumbers, and olives. So that's like my go-to quick dish. I know it sounds weird, but yeah.
Everything was cool until you said olives.
It's optional. Olives is optional, but only because I grew them in my garden. So
I live in Brooklyn. I ain't got no garden.
Oh gosh, the concrete jungles out there.
Listen, let me tell you something. I've been here my whole life, and this year I'm done. I can't.
Get up out of there. All that congestion.
No, but here's the thing. Even through COVID, it wasn't that bad. But now, you know what it is? You got the idiots now. All they do is just drag race up the street. And I'm telling you, they're going to kill somebody. And then between that, they're defunding the police. MTA crying every other day about they need money. Homeless people shitting on the train. Like, New York's not fun anymore. Like, all the clubs are gone.
I went to the train station. I went to the train station. I think that was the Jamaica Queens train station, and it looked like a murder scene.
Wait, which one? Did you go to 179th Street or did you go to Suffolk Boulevard?
I don't really know, but it was in like the fashion district or something like that, where everybody was getting they hustle on, and it was just terrible.
You said it was Jamaica Queens?
It was Queens? I don't know, but it was just the most.
Was it off Jamaica Avenue?
I believe so. That's probably why I said it. So yeah, this was some years ago.
That's Parsons Archer. Yeah, that's
that
was
terrible.
Area.
That bathroom was a crime scene. Somebody took like craps and just smeared it all over. It was blood. Oh my gosh! It was. I just, and then I saw the puppy rats. You know, it was just like, I'm like, nope. And then my friend,
you got the puppy rat.
My friend, she had on
Chinatown with my old lady. I was in Chinatown with my old lady. We were just walking towards the train, and I tell her we were going to karaoke bar. You had the puppy rat. We had the baby German Shepherd rat. And the funny part was it went into the bushes, but there was a couple right there making out, and they didn't even see it. I just looked at my wife. I was like, "Yo, did you see that?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw it." I was like, "Fuck out of here." He might come back.
My friend, she had on flip-flops, and by the time we got back to the boat, because we were there for a Liberty call, our ship was in Earl, New Jersey, so we had caught the ferry across, and just, man, her feet was about as black as this dang on firearm by the time we got back to the boat. Yes, it was horrible.
Nah, son, you can't, not them sexy flip-flops. You can't wear those in the city.
Nope.
All right. So that was question 7. Number 8. Here we go. We gonna ask. Are you hand-to-hand, or is it all about the guns?
I mean, hell, I put a lot of money in my mouth, and you know, I'm not really about that street fighting. I'm a mom. I'm beautiful, so I'm gonna try to talk myself out of a situation and press charges. But you know, if you're a deadly threat to me, then it's all about that firearm work.
So it ain't gonna be no world star moment with you.
Not at all.
You ain't gonna do nothing, and she like, hold up.
I'm going to try to talk myself out of it. I'm going to get out of that situation. But if it's something where there is, attack on me where it is relentless, resulting in serious bodily injury or even death, I'm going to make that firearm do what it has to do.
I feel you on that.
But I'm too grown to fight. I'm a mother.
Of course. I'm not trying to say that. All right, here it is. This is the question. Here we go. It's going to be a 3-parter. Well, okay. No, 2. Well, we'll see. We'll see the third one, but we're gonna start off small. What is you got free range? It's like a video game. You get a freebie, and you got a loadout. So you have 3 guns you got to take with you on a mission. What is your go-to pistol?
Glock 19.
Why is everybody with these Glocks all of a sudden?
Well, no. I'll go ahead and I would go for Baby Love Georgia. This is a SIG P365, so I would go for Love Georgia.
Because I've been looking at that 6-hour P226. I don't know if that's a good first gun for somebody. The
only reason why I say my Glock 19 is because I use it with my MCK conversion kit, which extends my range from about 25 yards to about somewhere in the realm of 35 to 50 on a good day, depending on the wind and all kinds of good stuff. But because I can use it with that, and I have that video on my YouTube channel as well. So that's the only reason why I say that is a go-to, because I can go from a pistol to, kind of like a carbine. So that's that. And that's what I bought it for. All
right. So what's a good first gun for somebody like me?
I cannot tell you.
Route, or
I can't tell you which should be a good first gun for you. It all depends on what you like, what you are looking for. My first firearm was, what was it? It was a Smith & Wesson P22, and it was a cute little gun because it was pink and it had a laser on it. But that was absolutely the worst gun ever, because right at that time, I was coming on with the police department where we carried a Smith & Wesson 45, the old school heavy joker. So the more and more I became surgical with that 45, the 22, I cannot accurately shoot that anymore because it's such a light caliber. So I would say whatever works for you, take into consideration what you want to do with it. Is it home defense? Because if you're using it for home defense, the size really doesn't matter. It's based on, how you can stop that threat. If you're going to mainly use it for concealed carry, I wouldn't recommend you go and get a Desert Eagle and want to conceal carry. That is not going to work. Okay. So whatever works for you, I highly recommend you find a friend that has a lot of firearms and a lot of patience, and you can say, hey, can you bring them all out? I'll treat you to some range time, and you figure out what you like.
When I get down there, maybe I'll do one-on-one consultants because
so
I got a little girl to worry about now, and I'll
absolutely. Okay, there is really quick. There's a good brother. I did. He wrote a children's book. It's called Erica's Big Day, and if you can find him, he's on Instagram. His handle is the EDC Guy 073. He actually wrote a children's book on how to introduce firearms and firearm safety for your children. So he is a very, very good brother. He's located in Florida. So there is a way to safely own firearms with children. We got our firearms when our son was 2, and he's almost 16 now. So.
Yeah, because I did tell my wife I want the little girl to do marksman training.
Oh yes,
with that. Ain't nothing better in the world, and you go try to mess with a college student that know how to get you with the double tap.
Absolutely.
All right, so we did the pistol. You got to take the rifle. What is the go-to rifle?
The one I have ammunition for. It's really not like, hey, I want this one. It's whatever I got ammunition for. Whichever one has a firing pin and work.
You're gonna have to go you're fighting zombies. You got
mine right now. I really, really, really love my SIG M400. You probably see me on social media taking it apart and stuff like that. So that is my first rifle, my baby. And I tell people, look into firearms, start investing in firearms. My rifle was cheaper than my phone, so definitely, get your safe filled up. So I would say for rifle, I'm going for my M400.
Cool. And I know y'all probably, well, it's hard to use these, but shotgun.
My shotgun, my baby. Did I name that baby? Yeah. My baby Harriet Tubman, and that is a Remington 870.
Jesus. Have you ever fired a Spaz 12?
No.
Oh, okay.
I gotta find a friend that has one. I really one shotgun that I just fired, and it was a friend of mine. It was the Citadel Boss, and I really love that one because it's a shotgun, but it's in an AR platform. So looking at it, you're like, this is one badass AR. No, it's a shotgun. So it is a shotgun, and the magazines that he had for it shot up to 10 rounds. So yeah, the Citadel Boss. If I add another shotgun to the family, it would be the Citadel Boss.
I actually wrote a black superhero with a gun like that.
Mm-hmm.
So at least now I know I'm not crazy. Because I had somebody read it, like, you can't have no shotgun that shoots like a rifle. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's one out there.
The Citadel Boss. I have the pictures on Instagram.
White people talking about white people thinking anything. Let me stop. Hello, white.
That Citadel Boss, and then that's a smart firearm to have, or a shotgun to have. Just a shotgun, period, because the shelves have no rifle rounds, no pistol rounds, but there's hella shotgun. You can find buckshot, you can find slugs on the shelves. There's an abundance of it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, here it is. Last question. Give your best advice to black women on protecting themselves, because a lot of black women don't invest in guns like that. I don't know how it is in the South, but I know up here in the North, you can't have no gun like that, especially in New York and Chicago and where you was at, in Cleveland and Boston and all that. The gun laws are hard unless you're in the country. Like it's funny. Like, I live in Brooklyn. You can't have no gun. You can transport it through in your trunk in the lockbox, and the clip has to be out, and there's no bullet in the chamber. You could drive it through. But I could drive 45 minutes east, go visit my parents, and I could go shoot. And nobody's gonna give me any problems. So one tip or one testimony you can give to black women about guns or protecting themselves.
I would say my most important one is to be a hard target. You have to practice situational awareness. I have not always had this mentality. When I look back on my life, and there were situations where I could have been an easy victim, going to the club and, stuff like that. And do not let yourself be a soft target. Always present yourself the moment you step out of your home as a hard target. And even at this point in time where you can be in your home and still be victimized, the safety of your own home. So just know that no one is exempt. There's no such thing as absolutely being un-F-word withable. But also too, sisters, you may have your own reservations. Yes, the church, works in religion, works one hell of a doozy on us, where we recite the garbage. And I'm not want to call it garbage, but it really is. It's there to disarm us. Imagine if Nat Turner had, a wife who talked him out of his insurrection. So sisters, be in support of having a brother who wants to protect you and protect the family. Without that, you are an easy target. So, get yourself and your mind right to be a hard target. Get you a brother, get with a brother, support that brother who was willing to, like our brother Kenneth Walker, Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, other brothers throughout time who have, stood on that front line to protect themselves and their families and the things that they hold valuable. So it's time for us to, come up off of, I don't like guns, no guns in my house, where you're a sitting duck. we're not even safe to send our children to sit in a church without getting bombed. Think about what happened in Birmingham. We can't even go and go to Wednesday night Bible study without being attacked and shot up. Think about Charleston. So it's time for us to take it seriously and practice situational awareness. If I can leave you with something to look up and research and consider, and that is situational awareness.
So I'm cool. My head is always on a swivel, so I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no weirdo.
Right.
So my mama said I can't be looking at people. I'm like, I don't know. I've been doing this when I was a kid.
That's what's up.
All right, so at least I got that down. Okay. It was fun. Something fun. Ms. Tieesha Essex, thank you so much.
And I thank you. You've been coming through on my live streams and showing support. So it's a pleasure to sit down and talk with you and meet with you. I listened to your past episodes. So I salute you and what you're doing. And thank you for having me here. And I hope that I have a ticket back and you're always welcome over on my channel. We can collaborate.
Yeah. All right. And I like the fact that you're pro-black too. And you're not one of those pushy pro-blacks. I like that.
And that's what I tell people. I give it a disclaimer.
I'm glad when you came up here and you ain't go to Harlem. You'd have been offended. You go back to every 3 blocks. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I said,
oh my God.
They try to tell me about the Ankh and all that. I'm like, dude, where's your resources, bro? I don't care about none of that.
Yes, it's a time and a place
ain't gonna
for
save us, bro. I'm sorry. The world ain't gonna reset for Egypt. It ain't happening. So unless you fixing to tell me how you are gonna hold people accountable, I don't want to hear it. I don't got that kind of time. Plus, I got food waiting, but that's just me. But folks, I'm gonna let her promote her store again and promote her channel. Please go over there, subscribe. I'm going to Beyond Border certify it and Bet on Black certify it. She does good content, and like I told her, and y'all know me, I don't really care for female content creators. I feel like they don't do important issues, and I can't listen to gossip too much. I mean, if it's necessary for me to do, I'll do it, but I don't like it. But she does everything. She'll do the gossip, but she'll also do hard topics. And she actually has an engaging voice and a nice smile. I could sit there and listen to the whole thing, and I could come away with something. So please go over there, subscribe. Tieesha Essex, it's right there. Hopefully her people will see this when I give her the video. Mm-hmm. They like it so much. Maybe I'll get to 100, and then I can go push to 1,000. So I ain't gotta, put a little near way for the baby. And when I get to Atlanta, hopefully I'll blow up. And when I do my movies, because I do movies as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what's up.
I do have a action movie with 2 black women that I want to get on the screen. So they're gonna need training. So I will keep you in mind, because I'd rather have a black woman teacher, because at least y'all got the facial expression. But yeah, please promote your store and your brand again. And then we're going to get up out of here.
Absolutely. Once again,
you got to eat.
It is an honor. Once again, my name is Tieesha Essex. I'm the owner of Timonics.shop, where I have all of your personal defense needs. You can find everything from 3-in-1 knives to belly band holsters, ankle holsters, key rings, flashlights, personal alarms, also anti-theft bags. And I will talk more about that on another video. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Tieesha Essex, 2 E's, 2 S's, in the same name on Facebook. I have 2 different Facebooks. I have my personal one where you can follow me over there. I also have my like page. Send me a like. And you can also find me here on YouTube, Tieesha Essex. I think I'm about 300 videos in. I just thank everybody for subscribing, commenting, and sharing. And yeah, I'm not really on a schedule. I try to upload something at least every week, but I make sure I give everybody a heads up. So I'll say thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and talk about, femininity and firearms, and also just what constructive content looks like. So thank you for not having me here to gossip or start the beef, but this is something constructive, and I hope to continue building and growing on it. And I can't wait until you become my Georgia neighbor.
Yes, ma'am. And I would like to invite you, because in a few weeks, I am going to praise one of the greatest black women that ever lived, Ms. Shahrazad Ali. I'm doing a review of this book. I'm still trying to get the wife to write it. Write it. I wish she should probably write this. But yes, folks, Y'all heard it here. We're gonna do our show. See, there it is. When you hear it on the audio, we both got The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, one of the greatest books ever written. We're gonna do this. We got to do this show because it's been 29 years.
Here's another one.
29 years and people still don't get. There it is. Are you still a slave? There it is. You know, it's hard to find that one on Amazon. I actually got one of the last copies of this one.
Yes, I actually have The Black Woman's Guide. I have Things Your Parents Should Have Taught You. I have Are You Still a Slave? I have How Not to Eat the Pork. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio, just like me. Yes, so, oh yeah.
I actually tried to get her on the show, but I know she doesn't do interviews like that anymore.
I would love to meet her. I was hoping that she was going to be at the FBAC conference this year, but she wasn't. But I've got to meet this sister. I love her so much.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, we're gonna get that in a few weeks.
Yes, yeah. I'm here for it.
All right, cool. And yeah, folks, I told y'all, man. We gotta support this. Y'all know me. I'm a little hard on the sisters, but you know I love them.
Love you too.
Yes, man. So everybody, thank you for listening. Stay safe. Wear y'all masks so you can get your supplies. And please, 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 please learn to throw hands because you ain't got no gun yet. If you don't got a gun, learn to throw hands. If you got a gun, this is not wanted. We don't curve bullets here. So take care. Stay safe. See y'all later.
Advice. Always bet on black.
Do you want me to stay on or leave the studio?
Can
like a debrief after?